100 Black women. Talia Peterson began her tenure as the fourth president of the National Coalition of 100 Black Women, Stone Mountain, Lithonia chapter, October 1st, 2009. Prior to this appointment, Talia spent more than 10 years as a motivational speaker, educator in leadership and training and business coaching. She is the president and owner of the Pink Cadillac Success Studio, which represents the home training facility for over 50 to 100 women. The Pink Cadillac Success Studio trains, motivates, inspires, and leads a team which produces an average of over $30,000 in retail sales monthly and over $350,000 retail sales a year. Talia's area of sales directors and sales consultants produces over $1.1 million in retail sales annually. Please join me in welcoming Talia Peterson to the stage. And as Talia comes forward, I am very happy to introduce Ms. Molly A. Locke. Did I pronounce that? Great. She is the director of the Office of Research and Sponsored Programs in the Center for Research Support at Walden University. She oversees research policy and development and works to ensure compliance with protection of human subjects in research, HIPAA guidelines, and U.S. government regulations. In addition, she develops resources and research ethics. She's a faculty member in the School of Counseling and Social Services in Walden's College of Social and Behavioral Science. Please join me in welcoming Molly Locke. Our next panelist is Ms. Arlene Wesley Cash. Arlene is the Vice President for Enrollment Management at Spelman College. Arlene was invited to be Spelman College's inaugural Vice President for Enrollment Management in July 2003, where she leads the college's efforts in recruitment, retention, and outcomes to the offices of admission, orientation services, student financial services, continuing education, career planning and development, and the office of the registrar. She accepted this position after serving as the Dean of Enrollment at the University of Arkansas, Fayetteville for 4 years. Please join me in welcoming Arlene Wesley Cash to the stage. Our next panelist is a beautiful young lady I had the wonderful opportunity of spending a little time with on the radio this morning, and that is none other than Miss Maria Moore. Maria Moore is an accomplished radio personality, model, performing artist, and entrepreneur. Maria got her start in radio while attending college at Florida A&M University. Upon completion of her undergraduate degree, BS Journalism, Public Relations, she worked full-time in the nonprofit community sector while continuing to work part-time, switch shifts with tongue-tied, broadcasting in Tallahassee, Florida. Maria later earned her MBA from Florida State University. She graduated in August of 2005 and moved on to pursue radio full-time. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Maria Moore. And our next panelist is Ms. Alicia Severa. Alicia is the Executive Director of the Steve Harvey Foundation. She is responsible for the organization's consistent achievement of its mission to mentor young men through the principles of manhood to enable them to achieve their dreams, to therefore become better citizens, better fathers, better husbands, better men who are emotionally, politically, and economically strong. Ms. Severa began her nonprofit career at the American Foundation for AIDS Research, where she began as a special events coordinator. There she quickly moved up the ladder to become a development director. And while in this role, she led major fundraising events and managed 2 volunteer fundraising committees, which raised $500,000 for the organization. So please join me in welcoming Ms. Alicia Severa to the stage. Panelist is Rubina Malik. Rubina Malik wears many hats to fulfill her vision to cultivate leaders. At Morehouse College, she serves as the director of the Executive Mentorship Program and a marketing and management instructor. Her position allows her to develop and facilitate partnerships between the students and business and community leaders to cultivate and develop young leaders. Please welcome to the stage Ms. Rubina Malik. Our next panelist is Ms. Karna Crawford. Karna is a year traditional and online consumer marketing executive driven by passion for results, passion for creativity, and passion for learning. Karna harnesses this passion in her role as Executive Vice President, Chief Media and Connections Officer, what a title, for Engage Marketing. For Engage, Karna sets the vision and leads the team in identifying and quantifying the appropriate mix of communication channels to reach, engage, and drive action among consumers, including paid media, brand experience online and offline, SEM, SEO, and other direct marketing contacts. Please join me in welcoming Karna Crawford to the stage. And last but definitely not least, it's my pleasure to introduce Rona D. Roberts. Rona was born on the island of St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, under the tutelage of I should have read that earlier. Well, under somebody's tutelage. An accomplished dancer, choreographer, Rona developed a love for dancing and acquired this along with other theatrical performances at the age of 6. From the age of 19, she has taught classical ballet, modern jazz, and Afro-Caribbean dances. Please join me in welcoming Rona Roberts to the stage. Join me in welcoming all of our phenomenal panelists to the stage. All right, as you can see, we do have an outstanding group of women with us today. And ladies, what I am going to ask you to do, for the sake of time, this is actually the largest panel we have had since we've had the Women Who Rule the World event. But since you all are so phenomenal, I just felt like, wow, there's so much that the audience is going to take away from all of you. So for the sake of time, I'm going to ask each of you if you take 2 minutes to basically, I know 2 minutes is not a lot of time, especially for your extensive background, but if you could try to summarize in 2 to 3 minutes top a little bit about your background and your journey, your professional journey, and what has brought you to where you are today. So I'm going to ask you, Dr. Gator, if you will begin.
Good evening. I'm a pastor today, but I didn't start there. My first degree in passion was television radio broadcasting. I felt that was what I was called to do. And at a time when they were looking for quotas, I was black and I was a female, I got an opportunity to use my minor, marketing. And I started in New York, Philadelphia, Atlanta, Houston, and back to Atlanta before I decided and determined that I wasn't happy. Sometimes we think money and all of the perks and benefits make us happy, but all of us have a purpose and call it a passion. Between birth certificate and death certificate, the dash in between is your life. You've got to find out what you're passionate about. You've got to find your purpose. I grew up in a church that was Baptist. I did not know women would even be called into leadership. And yet that is my passion. My passion is to pull women who think that they have an excuse to be a victim. And I answered the call to ministry, ended up getting a master's in Christian education and a doctorate in ministry. I have both marketplace and ministry experience. And I travel across the country and across the world helping women to get out of the victim mentality, to go back to school, to empower themselves, to know that the sky is the limit. And that there's no limit, and that they can be whoever they are called to be. It is important that you understand your strengths and that which how you're wired and that which motivates you. Because once you understand who you are and what you have to offer, then there is nothing that can stop you. I would like to say that as I close, that too often we use our past, we use our hurts, we use our pains to keep us from pursuing our purpose. Use your pain to motivate you to pursue that which God has called you to do. For each one of us is something different, but God has wired us to do something. Awesome.
A great evening, Atlanta.
My name again is Talvia Peterson, and I started